thought I married into a family. Then I discovered my entire life was a carefully staged lie.
I thought 10 years of marriage meant stability, trust, something unbreakable. I believed that because I wanted to. My wife was charismatic, ambitious, and effortlessly convincing. She knew how to make people feel safe, turning confidence into a performance. I didn't realize until much later that I was just another role in her story. We built what looked like a real life. A house, routines, and 3 children from her previous marriage who slowly became my world. I never needed paperwork to love them. I packed lunches, fixed bikes, and showed up to school events like any father would. I thought I was choosing family. I didn't know I was being used as camouflage. The shift started quietly. An old college boyfriend transferred to her company. It was mentioned so casually it felt unimportant. After that, his name was everywhere. Meetings ran late. Trips multiplied. Her energy changed, like she was living a parallel life I wasn't invited into. She dressed differently, smelled different, and held her phone like it was fragile glass. I tried to talk to her once. She called me needy. That word stuck. I stopped asking questions and started watching instead. Receipts appeared for restaurants I'd never been to and hotels she claimed were client offices. I didn't confront her. I needed truth, not excuses. That's when I hired someone to follow her. A decision that felt like betrayal, even though I was the one being lied to. The photos arrived 2 weeks later. Her smiling in dim restaurants, her hand on his arm, both of them disappearing into hotels and emerging hours later. It should have ended there, but it didn't. What I uncovered next changed everything. The man she was seeing wasn't just an ex. He was her former brother-in-law, using a different name. The husband she claimed had died wasn't dead, just serving time in prison. And the company she worked for was a front for something that required a respectable image to function. I thought that was the worst of it. I was wrong. I discovered medical records she'd hidden for nearly a decade, proving she knew I couldn't have children. She knew before our first anniversary. She never told me. She let me believe I was part of a biological family when it was medically impossible. The children I loved weren't mine by blood, not one of them. I didn't scream or confront her. I went numb in a way that felt terrifyingly calm. When you realize your entire life is built on lies, anger feels too small. I chose silence and planned my exit. I spoke to a lawyer, secured my finances, and documented everything. I waited for the right moment, not for revenge, but for survival. She left for a business trip a few days later. While she was gone, I erased myself from the life we'd built. I took only what mattered: documents, personal items, and proof. I left behind the furniture, the photos, and every illusion she thought she owned. When she came home, the house was empty. My phone was disconnected, no note. Just legal papers waiting on the counter. She tried to find me. When she finally did, she looked smaller, like the performance had finally ended. She cried, begged, and tried to explain. I told her I knew everything: the affair, the lies, the decade she stole. That conversation ended the moment I closed the door. What followed was chaos, legal battles and accusations. She escalated when she realized control was gone, but I stayed steady. Facts don't waver, and lies don't age well. One of the children eventually came to me, scared, asking for safety instead of explanations. I said yes without hesitation. Love doesn't disappear just because the truth arrives late. The divorce dragged on, ugly and public by her own choice. Everything she tried to hide surfaced. Her career collapsed. Her partners vanished. The man she ruined her life for ran the moment consequences appeared. I rebuilt slowly. Therapy, new routines, a smaller, quieter life that belonged to me. The child who stayed with me healed faster than I did. Years later, I ran into my ex by accident. She looked tired, hollowed out by choices she never took responsibility for. I didn't stop. Some stories don't need endings. They just need distance. Today, my life is quieter, honest, real. I am raising a child who I send mine by blood, but is mine in every way that matters. I wake up without dread and sleep without questions. Betrayal didn't destroy me. It stripped away a lie and forced me to build something real from the wreckage. And that, in the end, was worth everything she tried to take from me. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more.